Sly! Come in! Sly! Do you read me?
Yeah, I read you. Loud and very loud.
Sorry, I'm a little nervous. Trying to break into police headquarters does that.
Get over it, Bentley. You're safe in the van. I'm the thief here. I've got to steal that file from Inspector Carmelita Fox.
Well, count on me to be your eyes and ears, buddy. Got their security system totally scoped. To get inside, you're gonna have to go through that air vent.
All right, I'm going in.
And don't forget you got me at the wheel, Sly. All you gotta do is grab the file and get back to the van. We'll do the rest.
Just keep that engine running, Murray. I'll be down in no time. Hey, Bentley, I think I'm seeing things. Must be vertigo or something. Can you see those crazy blue lights?
Really? I've read about this. Master Raccoon thieves are able to sense thieving opportunities, which manifest themselves as unexplainable blue auras. According to my research, all you have to do is get near them and hold down the circle button, and you should perform a super sneaky Master Thief move.
Hold down the circle button near blue auras. I'm on it.
Extra careful here, Sly. Break one of those laser beams and you'll set off the alarms. Not to mention, you'll be fried to a crisp. Nice job, you're in. Inspector Carmelita Fox's office is behind the red door. That door must be super reinforced, Sly. Maybe there's a way to get around it. Way to go, Sly! This is where Inspector Carmelita Fox stashes all her important files. I hacked into the police security mainframe and discovered this vault's combo. Try dialing in 937.
Nice job! You got it! If you come down through the fire escape and head through the parking lot, we'll be waiting in the getaway van.
Hello? Okay, I think it's working now. Yeah, I thought so. The only problem is that I can also hear myself, which is making it a little hard for me to talk. How about now? Can you still hear me now? Okay, nice. I found a way to turn it off so that I can't hear myself while I'm talking. It's a shame that I wasn't able to be talking because I was going into like detail about everything that I like about the start of the game, like how it gives you like a little area to explore, but while still showing you exactly where you need to go, and how it teaches you the mechanics of the alarm system in a way that's very newbie friendly, and like the little bits of foreshadowing there is in The Office. Oh well. No use crying over spilt milk. I was also explaining what exactly it is I'm doing, which is doing these birthday streams for the next 3 years to celebrate my favorite video game trilogy. Unfortunately, I don't think I have a way to, like, prevent that from happening. Sorry. Anywho... maybe there is one way? Did that help? Okay, anyway, let's progress into the actual game now that you can hear me.
Criminal!
So, yeah, I'm playing the Sly Trilogy remake, which,
foolish
is
raccoon.
not that good. Like, you can
Ah,
see here that,
Carmelita.
her sound
I haven't seen you
bite
since I
played
gave you
too
the slip in
early.
Bombay.
Which reminds me, you need to return the Firestone of India to its rightful owners.
And I was gonna give it to you as a little token of my... Hey, you know, that bazooka really brings out the color of your eyes. Very fetching.
You think? This pistol packs a paralyzing punch. You ought to try it. Might snap you out of your crime spree.
And give up our little rendezvous?
Plenty of time for that once you're safely behind bars.
Love to stick around and chat, but I just dropped by to pick up this case file. I think you've had it long enough.
So Carmelita is pretty easy to avoid here in these first games because her shots are super slow. Basically, as long as you keep yourself moving, she can't hit you. The only slight problem is here with the cars, because if you're on a car when she hits it, even if you don't get hit, then, yeah, it's gonna, you know, hit you. But again, just keep moving and you'll be fine.
You can't escape me, Raccoon!
Once again, my gang and I had given Inspector Carmelita Fox the slip. I was surprised to see how well she took it. Finally, the secret police file I'd been searching for all these years. With this, I could avenge my family
So
and
the
regain
first game
possession
has a
of
very
our most
different art
valued
style
treasure.
from the second and
It all
third.
began when I was just a kid.
Gotta be
bouncing on
honest,
my
I
father's
prefer
knee.
the one in the
You
second
see,
and third.
I come from a
I
long
like how
line of master
cartoony
thieves
or,
who
well,
kept all their
comic
secrets
book
of sneaking
inspired
and
it
stealing
is.
in an ancient book.
And that's
The
just
Thievius
another reason why the
Raccoon.
fourth game doesn't
Anyone who
exist,
read it
because,
learned
like,
to be a
who the
specialist
hell
sneak,
would
which is
create,
why we
like,
specialize
a
in stealing
fourth
from criminals.
game and move
After
away
all,
from
there's no
that
honor,
art
no
style?
challenge, no fun stealing from ordinary
Clearly,
people.
no one would ever do
You
that,
rip off a
therefore it
master
does not
criminal,
exist.
and you know you're a master thief. Well, on the night I was supposed to inherit the book, 5 visitors came unannounced to our door. My father fought to protect us, but the gang of villains known as the Fiendish Five overpowered him and ransacked our house until they found the Thievius Raccoonus. Our family's manual of thieving greatness fell into their filthy hands. They tore the book into 5 pieces and split it up, each villain disappearing to the farthest corners of the world to commit dastardly crimes. Broken alone, I was dumped at the town orphanage. There I met 2 guys who became my lifelong buddies and trusted crew.
Dumped at the
Bentley,
orphanage.
techno genius and strategist supreme, and Murray, part-time driver and full-time burden. Together we pledged to track down the
I like
Fiendish
that
Five, avenge
small
my
laugh
father,
and
and
slice
steal back
voice
the
when he
thievius
calls
raccoons.
Murray
I knew I was about to face the
full-time
toughest
burden.
test of my life. On this mission, I would either become a master thief like my ancestors before me, or fail and allow my family name to bite the dust.
So yeah, and now we have the hook for the game. Sly's parents were murdered by a group of criminals and T-posing Murray. I swear that's not in the original game, that's another problem with the remake. By the way, Sly 4, which doesn't exist, was made by the same people who made this remake.
That was a nice piece of work back there at police headquarters, Sly. Come see me if you want to check out any of your old movies. I've got them all here on my computer. Use the left analog stick to move around the hideout and the X button to select things. I've already plotted a route to our first target.
Luckily, the first target is pretty close to Paris, where these guys live.
The
The
road
only
trip gave me
problem
the
I see
time
is
I
that
needed
it's
to
on an
study up on
island,
Sir
and
Raleigh
how
the
do they
Frog.
drive to an island?
As a young man, this hot-tempered frog grew bored of his life of luxury and privilege. On a whim, he tried his hand at a bit of piracy and found it to his liking. Raleigh, who quickly became addicted to crime, was brought into the Fiendish Five as chief machinist, where his evil tinkering genius rose to new heights. The last reported sighting of this mad machinist was off the soggy coast of the Isle o' Wrath, a small island uncomfortably situated in the middle of the perilous Welsh Triangle.
So yeah, each episode we get like an intro movie of that where we get the laydown of the main baddie that we're gonna be defeating. As Sly explained in the opening thing, him being a master thief of honor and such, he only steals from other criminals. So you can always be assured that whoever you're stealing from is the worst bad guy, and therefore be completely, assuaged in any worries you may have about morality.
I just spotted something that's going to complicate the mission. See that nasty-looking gate? It blocks the only road leading into
Also,
Raleigh's
Jax,
hideout.
I know Murray's a hippo, but he's a hippo that can't swim.
Okay, but remember,
The same way that Bentley's a turtle who can't swim, and Sly's a raccoon that can't swim.
Yeah, sure, and like that ladder there?
That is correct, but do not forget, Sly. You have to get close.
Then hit the circle button to grab it. Yeah, relax, Bentley. I live for this stuff.
Yeah, and that's what worries me.
So you probably noticed the dynamic so far. Bentley's the guy in the chair who's like always worrying about Sly. Sly's super overconfident.
Now this is very interesting.
And you have Murray who's like more of a happy-go-lucky kind of guy. He hasn't gotten much attention right now, but he'll get it later.
See if you can find any more clues. The more I have, the easier it'll be to crack the code.
And by that he means get all of the bottles or he will not be able to crack the code. One thing that I'm probably going to go into more details with later on, also Jack's correct, it is very much a Edit and Eddie sort of dynamic. That did not get lost on me as a child who played this a lot and watched Edit and Eddie a lot. But yeah, one thing I will go into details more later on is how good this trilogy is at subtle character development.
One careless step and you'll be subjected to acute combustion.
You done whining? Let's go.
I'm just trying to keep you alive, partner. Fortunately for you, I launched these signal repeaters throughout Raleigh's fortress. Get close to one, and I can checkpoint your progress.
Nice.
So yeah, that's what happens if you accidentally activate an alarm. The thing that was just made for detection instead becomes deadly if you touch it again. Oh. That was pretty damn embarrassing. Luckily it has saved all of the bottles that I picked up, so we don't have to do that again. But I seriously hope this is not a bad omen for what's to come.
According to my amphibio positioning system, that big
Because
blimp
of
is
course
where
you
Wally is
have one of
hiding out.
those.
You know, that blimp looks more like a machine than a hideout.
You're right, Sly.
It looks
That
like
is
a
a
blimp.
storm machine. It's the reason why it never stops raining around here.
That explains all the wrecked ships.
But why would Raleigh want bad weather at his own hideout 24/7?
Beats me. But rain or shine, I'm gonna steal my family's book back. And if Raleigh gets in my way, it's on.
See these bees? It's pretty hard, but you can kill them and get money.
Nice job so far, Sly. To get over the next gate, you'll need to grab onto this hook using your cane. Just jump
I mean,
and hit the
true,
circle
bees
button.
are
Got it.
highly
Jump and hit the
endangered,
circle
but
button to
it's,
grab
you
onto the
know,
hook.
it's kind of neat that you're able to do it. It's like, you know, a small little detail that most people wouldn't notice. Especially considering how hard they are to hit. Please ignore the fact that I managed somehow to get it on my first try. Now I just need to get the last bottle.
That large vault has got to be somehow related to those clues in bottles you've been collecting. If you can locate all the clues in this area, I should be able to crack the code and get you inside it.
Now, as I mentioned back when my microphone wasn't working, I will try to get all of the bottles and open all the safes, but I won't be doing the Thief Sprint challenges because I suck at them and I'll never manage
Clues
to
that
do
led me to
them.
believe that the code for
I
this
think in
vault
all of
is
my times playing this
792.
game, I've managed to complete maybe 3 or 4.
Sly, you found a page from the Thievius Raccoonus.
I
This
really
page teaches
appreciate
old
your
Drake Cooper's
confidence in
fast
me,
attack dive
Jex,
move.
but
Press the triangle
I
button to
really
use it.
won't. Those challenges are so hard. Like, if you played Crash Bandicoot, you know that, like, that game has a couple of difficult time challenges, especially if you want the Platinum Trophy. Not so much with this game. With this game, it is nearly impossible. You have a hard limit for what you need to do in order to complete it. There's no just like, oh, you can get like a sapphire one if you do kind of good, and a gold one if you do really good, and then like a platinum one if you do it perfectly. No, you need to do it perfectly in order to win. And like these are also really difficult because if you activate a security system or when a guard is attacking you, the time speeds up.
Wonderful idea.
And also, you don't
your
really have
plan
a
is
run
flawed.
button or sprint in
Because
this
it's
game. All you
impossible to
get
get
is like
near
the
him.
road
To
that you
access
just
Raleigh's
unlocked,
blimp,
and
you would
it's
have
not
to
very
sneak
good
through
on
that high
bumpy
voltage
roads.
power tube. To do that without getting electrocuted, you'd have to destroy that power generator. And to do that, you need 2 more of Raleigh's treasure keys, which are heavily guarded.
Interesting. So when are you gonna get to the impossible part?
Fine.
Although I will
But
say
I warned
the
you.
reward you get
I
for
marked the
completing the
areas you need
beat
to hit
sprint
with
runs
holographic
are
markers.
pretty
Follow them
good.
to your
So if you
objectives.
manage to
Thanks.
complete
Don't
one,
mention
you unlock
it.
a
It's your
commentary
funeral.
track from the developers for that specific level, where they go into details about their inspirations for the levels, their thought process, some neat details and stuff, and I love stuff like that.
Wow, you found
More
a lucky
games
charm.
need to do
That'll
stuff like
protect you when
this.
you
I
take any
want to know
damage.
what the developers were thinking while making the game. I want to know what inspired them, what sort of media were they watching or reading while doing that stuff. I want to know it. I want to know your thought process. I love it. I love it. I love it. And they never do that again. I don't even know another game that's done that, and it's so disappointing.
With the possible exception being the crowd's negligent display below.
Yeah, I love film commentaries too. They're so good. I love just like the people who made the thing getting together and reminisce about the stuff that they went through. Not just like behind the scenes stuff, but like them sitting down and explaining the stuff that happens in the movie and like, oh yeah, that part, while we were filming that part, this specific thing happened. And that kind of gave us inspiration to do that. Or like, we were really worried about this thing, wondering if like people were gonna get it, but no, they totally got it. I love it! Yes, I am a nerd. I am a very big nerd
Better close those
for
furnace doors.
commentary stuff.
Jump and press the square button. That'll slam them shut.
I remember as a kid when I was watching DVDs and I discovered the audio commentaries, track stuff, and I was like, oh my god. I think the first one I discovered it on was like the Simpsons movie. And then like I immediately went and explored other DVDs I had to see if they also had them, and when they did, I got so happy! Yeah, like that, except not on fire. So like, if you're someone who is making a video game or really any kind of piece of media, remember to include stuff like that because people like me are going to love it. Also other stuff like that, you know, betas and alphas and cut content are also really popular. I mean, there are whole YouTube channels dedicated to stuff like that, to like digging down into video game codes and finding stuff like that. I recently, I think last Christmas, got the Cuphead art book, and also recently there was the update to the Cuphead game that allowed you to get like even more concept art and stuff like that. I love it. I don't care how bad or embarrassing or like, oh, no one's going to care about this, you think it is. No, no, no. I want it. I want to see stuff like that. I want to see how it started and how it developed. There is one specific level that I managed to, I think it was the first one I actually managed to complete a thief sprint on. It's in episode 4 of this game. And there's a small detail that always stuck with me that I want to point out. I guess I didn't really pay attention to that. I think I was too busy just, you know, talking about my passion for cut content and stuff like that. Alright, still got it. I don't know if it was a remake glitch or if it was part of the original game. And honestly, like, I don't mind the weird glitches so much, like, you know, Murray T-posing and stuff like that. Like, that stuff I can live with. What I really hate is what they did with the episode 3 boss, which I will show you when we get to that. I believe should be somewhere over here. If I remember correctly. And there we go.
Press the circle to enter the vault code. I can't believe I pieced this one together. Try 227.
Oh yeah, so originally this wasn't made for widescreen, so when this was turned into, when the remake, you know, tried to make it for widescreen, they didn't widen all of the assets. It's not very noticeable here in the first game, but in the second and third game it becomes very noticeable. And yeah, now we have the roll, which is like the only replacement for run you get, unless you count the fast ability, but that also speeds up the clock, which is not good. So, you know, like, if you're going down a straight downward slope, then it's probably gonna be fine, but if you are in a bumpy terrain, which a lot of this game's terrain is kind of bumpy, then you're going to be slowed down and bounce around a lot. So, not ideal. You know, the third game has a bunch of time trials and other sort of challenges too, and I can get through those just fine. First one complete. We need 7 keys in total, and now we have 2. Grab another life. This is also the only game that uses, like, the life and horseshoe system. In Slide 2 and Slide 3, you get a life bar instead and don't have lives, which I much prefer. I think it's, you know, a system that is much more conducive to modern-day platformers. But yeah, this is probably like the best place to farm shoes and lives if you are facing something difficult. And I'm going to be needing those when we get to the episode 3 boss, and you'll find out when we get there.
Jackpot, Sly! Look at all this stuff! Must be worth millions! And you know what that means? Tighter security. you're gonna have to be extra sneaky to get the treasure key here.
So the reason why I did that behind the things and also turned the camera around is because one time when I played this game, I missed a bottle that was behind me, and it's made me a bit paranoid in levels like these. Now, the good thing about this level is that you are able to backtrack as much as you like. This is another easy one, just need to keep moving, it follows you around, don't worry about it. Okay, get those. Those. Destroy that. Why is this so difficult? No. Okay, I need to do it on the other side too, I think. Damn it. Damn it. It is the funny jump. I don't know if this is a problem with the remake or if it's just me who has gotten worse, but I swear that jump was not always that difficult. And you know, I hesitate to blame the remake because even though this remake isn't good, I don't want to assign blame to it for mistakes that are my own. I'm not that kind of person. I want to give everything, even bad stuff, the fair benefit of the doubt. And even though I do consider myself a gamer, I'm not always good at video games. Thought I managed to get through it without activating the alarm, but I just did. Okay, I can see here that I missed some bottles, so now we gotta backtrack to find them. Pretty sure it was around this area that I missed some. Yeah. I could feel that I had overlooked some bottles here, but I wasn't sure, so I just kept going. Not overwhelmed.
Circle to enter the vault code. Whoever thought this code up knew what they were doing.
I've never played GTA at all. Well, that's not entirely true. My dad had the games, and sometimes I would play with cheat codes on. I didn't find them very fun, though. And, like, maybe you could say, oh, that's because you played with cheat codes on, but I think it's more because I was, like, 7.
Entire operation. I wonder... Yes! I can wire this info directly into your
And I've never really been a big fan of vehicle-based games.
Objects.
Despite being autistic, vehicles just aren't really things that interest me that much. I'm more of an artistic autist, if you could tell by my rant about wanting to know about other artists' artistic process in creating a medium. But yeah, now you have unlocked the blueprints for this episode. What that basically means is that, like Bentley said, you'll be able to find smashable objects and glue bottles. The thing about this game is that you get all of the vault upgrades in order. So like, the blueprints will always be the third one that you unlock as long as it's in this episode. Sounds good, Jax. Okay, we now have 3 keys, but before we go and unlock the thingy, we're going to get 1 more key. In all of these episodes, you can get 4 keys before you go to the one that unlocks the, you know, that you need 3 keys for. That's like the progression in this game. Except for here in the first episode, where you can actually get 5 keys before you unlock the one that requires 3.
Temperature's reading way off the charts in here. This must be the power source
This
for the
level
storm
is
machine.
kind of annoying because, as you can see, the vault is right at the beginning. And you are able to backtrack to it. It doesn't require you to play the game twice in order to get the vault. But it is really, really annoying.
Sly, see that machine wheel? If my knowledge of mechanical engineering serves me right, applying significant rotational torque to achieve maximum
When we did those
velocity
dub
will
thingies,
yield
I
a
always have to like
positive
lower
result.
the audio a lot
Something
for
good might
that
happen
part
if I
because
get
it
the wheel to
is
spin
super
fast enough.
loud.
Isn't that what I just said?
That's probably my favorite variation of the, can you say that in plain English? Where instead of like the whole thing, of like saying, you know, can you just like speak to that in English? It's, the other translating what it means and then the smart person being like, that's what I just said. Dude, it's salt. I'm getting hit a lot this game. Maybe it's because I'm doing commentary while playing, I don't know. I swear I'm usually better at this game. Also, like, in the whole sodium chloride thing, Skeet was completely in the right. Okay, you see that bottle? See, we could get that bottle now, but that would require us to then backtrack all the way back here and get up here, and like, we need to backtrack to get to the vault anyway, so we're just going to let this bottle stay here, and then we're gonna go back to it later. I love how the industrial sounds of like things getting hammered on and other stuff that I don't know anything about is added to the soundtrack in this level. The music in the Sly games are super good. And I don't know a lot about music, but I like it. I like, you know, jazz-based music. It sounds neat. Here, instead of just like needing to get it up to top speed, you need to get this rolling so that that giant, I don't know, giant ball of coal that's for some reason on the conveyor belt gets brought all the way down here so that it explodes, and bam. Okay, now we have 29, and you remember we left that one bottle behind. So now we can backtrack so we can also get the vault. Bam, bam. can get it. Maybe I can get it. Yes! Ugh, I'm so gamer!
Press the circle to enter the vault code. I'm unbeatable! No code can stand before me! It's got to be 579!
5, 7, 9.
Outstanding! Another page from the Phoebius Raccoonus! This one features Dev Cooperenda's slow motion jumps. He used this to get by all kinds of airborne threats. Hit the triangle button while in the air to slow down time.
So, fun fact, all of these minor pages, by minor pages I mean you get small pages with like small little bonuses from unlocking these vaults while you get the main big important pages when you defeat the boss. All of these minor pages, Cooper ancestors are named after developers. I wish I could come up with some actual examples, but I don't remember any. But once we get to the credit scroll, you'll be able to probably compare some of the names that you find here to the people that actually worked on it. So that's pretty neat. Oh yeah, Snake is an amazing bend blade. But you're gonna be a pretty good one too when we do the third game. Although I'm probably looking most forward to doing the second game, but we still need to be done with the first one first. And for the people that don't know what we're talking about here, me and Jess are part of a dubbing Discord that does real-time fan-dub. And we have been working on doing the first game here as part of the some stuff that we want to upload to YouTube, because as you probably know, while we do episodes and movies and stuff like that, you can't really upload that to YouTube because of copyright, but like video games you can usually get away with unless it's Nintendo.
Astonishing! All my calculations led me to believe you had failed to knock out that generator.
Never was good at math.
Well, here's a real test for you. I found a way out to Raleigh's hideout, but unfortunately, it is doomed to failure.
You're not gonna tell me I have to shoot myself out of that cannon.
I'm afraid
I don't know how
that's
much
the
story
only
there
way.
is in
Now you're
GTA
talking.
5,
You're
but
really
like,
scaring me, man.
based on that,
Anyway,
we probably
to
could
get
do it
inside
up. Like, that
thing,
doesn't have
you
to be
steal
necessarily
all
/J.
7 of Raleigh's treasure keys.
So what are we waiting for? You show me those hollow what's-its?
You mean my holographic markers?
Yeah. And I'll swipe whatever it takes to get shot out of that cannon and steal back my family's Thievius Raccoonus.
So, I want you guys to remember for later how the plan here was to shoot Sly out of a cannon, and Bentley was all like, Sly, that's fucking stupid. Do you have any idea what's gonna happen to you if you get shot out of a cannon? Something like, it'll be fine. It's fine, I'll survive that. I can survive that.
And to bring the camera behind you, click it.
It's going to play into the point that I mentioned earlier about this game and the trilogy in general being really good at subtle character development. Yeah, that's decent length for a dub.
Those rats got pegged.
Raleigh appears to have
Damn,
booby
Sly.
trapped this entire place.
I'm gonna enjoy this.
Don't you get it, Sly? If you step on that rug, forget about becoming a master thief. You'll be a master dartboard.
Wait a second. What if I jumped into that barrel for protection?
I don't know. It looks pretty risky and very unsanitary.
Only one way to find out.
It's a barrel, Bentley. What do you think there was in it? This is a mechanic that returns in the second game, but not the third. Oh, also? And, like, it's barely a mechanic in this game either. Like, it appears here, and then it appears again in the last episode. Do you think Sly would like to get
So
paid?
good. I bet if you stayed still inside the barrel,
I
the
think
guard
that
won't
Sly
be able to see
probably
you,
would like getting paid.
even if he shines his flashlight on you.
So, like, there was one time playing this, and I don't know what happened exactly, but even though I was standing still, the guard still spotted me, and he was super close. So I don't know if it's like, if the guard gets close enough to you, he'll be like, oh, I can see you down there. Or if he, like, accidentally moved me, and the game considered that to be me moving. But ever since then, I've also been really paranoid when it comes to standing too close to the guards while in the barrel, even though I should technically be safe. I do wonder, though, what a barrel was doing in the library. I mean, I know this isn't like a regular library, since there are furnaces shooting fires and darts shooting globes and stuff like that, but it's still a library. And this is the only barrel that's in there. By the way, one of the reasons why I'm destroying the globes is if, in the case that I accidentally forgot some bottles, it'll make backtracking a lot easier. I guess, like, this isn't the game that I've played the most. That would probably be the second or third game. Like, that's where my knowledge really goes a long way. Like, I know it's a controversial opinion, but out of the trilogy, the first game is probably my least favorite. And that is, like, least favorite as in I still really love this game. But I prefer the overall storytelling and level design of the third and second most. See, for instance, I knew that there was a thing here. Okay, now I just need to backtrack for the last couple of bottles. Which I believe should be here. And they were.
circle to enter the vault code. With the help of a straight-edge and compass, the
I
answer
know,
was
I
simple.
wish Sly had
Dial
gotten
in
popular. It's such a
242.
good fucking game. If I had the money for it, I would love to make a Sly game. Like, I know nothing about actually making video games, of
Interesting.
course. It's
Chris
just,
Cooper's
you
dive
know,
collection
an
technique.
interesting
This move is an
fantasy.
extension of the dive move you already know.
Also, you know, there are
Just
licensing
jump
stuff
and hit the triangle
and
button near breakable objects
basically
for
a
some
lot
fast
of weird
braking,
things where
fast
it's like
collecting
a bunch of
action.
people really want this thing, but because of licensing and money, then even if the actual creators of the game would like to make another one, then they might not actually be allowed to. Now we just need 2 more keys, and we are golden for fighting Raleigh. And within my planned time slot, aside from all the time that I wasted trying to get my microphone to work, and also a bit working, trying to get the video thing to work, like, within like, what I assumed it would take, it seems to be around that.
You found it, Sly. This is where Raleigh's gang of crabs stashes his sunken treasure. Use your
Also,
sun
like,
blast
to
him.
be fair, this trilogy came out
Give it a
long
try.
before the Crash and Spyro
Use
trilogy.
the right analog
And, like, the
stick to
Crash
fire its gun.
trilogy remake, that set, like,
That's
the
it.
precedent for
Remember,
what
you can
a
always
remake
drive the
should
sun
be
in
like.
one direction while firing in another. To earn a treasure
At the
key,
time this
you'll need to
remake
collect
came
all
out, this was
40
pretty
chests.
much like, you know,
Do not let a crab
what was
take one
expecting,
into a
like,
tube.
oh yeah, make it, work for a white screen, update the graphics a bit, maybe, that's fine. Also, this level really stresses me out. You need to get all of the treasure chests and prevent the crabs from getting any. Luckily, the crabs are easy to defeat, but they just keep coming and coming and coming. More of them, and it reaches the point where you have to, like, be strategic about it. Okay, last one, we're gonna do it. Yeah, we did it!
Congratulations, you did it!
And now the crabs are all scared of you. You can take your revenge on them. If someone would remake the Sly trilogy once again for the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5 audience, and like make it a proper remake and actually good, and like maybe get some more eyes on it, I would really love that. I'm just wondering that, like, if there comes another sequel, like, are we gonna keep pretending that the 4th game doesn't exist because it really, really sucks? Or are we going to, like, have it be canon and then, like, try to fix some of the, issues with it? agree that if this game had gotten like more mainstream voice actors, Tim Curry would have played Brawly. And I mean that as complimentary to the original voice actor as I possibly can be, because damn, the voice acting in this game is good. There we go. William Dafoe, that's pretty, like, you know, specific ask. But I would probably say if we're taking, like, the, just the first game here, then probably Clockwork. And that's like an if I had to cast William Dafoe. Even then, I don't think William Dafoe would have been a good Clockwork. That's just like the person that I mean the character that I think he would fit the most.
Oh, you're lucky, Sly. This page features Karen Cooper-Giwa's coin magnet technique. All she had to do was stand near money, and it would magically jump into her purse. From now on, you'll automatically collect any coins you come near.
Oh yeah, I could definitely see William Dafoe do a good Dimitri. We are in total agreement on that. Like, either Dimitri or maybe for the third game, I could kind of see him as Octavius. I don't know if he has a good opera singing voice. That should like be a prerequisite to playing Octavius, because that's his whole thing.
How delightful! We have a guest. The only thing is, I hate unexpected guests!
Listen, Raleigh. Wipe up my family and steal what's mine? You better expect company.
Oh, I'm ever so sorry. How sloppy of me not to finish the job. Obviously,
Hey, dude, you're kind of a dick for killing off my parents.
So,
Oh,
without further
sorry,
ado,
I should have killed you too.
by what? Bloating to gargantuan size and squashing you like the insignificant bug that you are!
Bring it on.
So when we did the dub, my friend who ended up playing Raleigh has never played this game, And he made the logical conclusion while we were dubbing this scene that, like, oh, well, clearly Raleigh, being the mechanic, is going to unleash a bunch of machinery on Sly, and that's what the boss fight is gonna be. And then instead it was like, no, he's going to do an inflation and try to stomp on you with his giant belly. Oh. Yeah, I fucked that up. And ding. Okay, time for the last part, and as you noticed, I added the slow ability. That's gonna really help you here. Plus, it also just makes it look cool.
Blast it all! You've beaten me! Well, gloat all you want, Sly Cooper. You're no match for Mugshot, my villainous
I mean, most of the
cohort in
villains in
Utah.
this game is pretty easy to beat.
See.
The
Mesa
last
City
stage,
is
or no
so
wait,
well
second
guarded,
to
a
last
snake
stage of
couldn't
Mugshot can
slither in
be
without
pretty
setting off
difficult.
alarms.
And the third boss is, well...
Raleigh's section of the Thievius
We'll
Raccoon
get to
has
that.
detailed instructions on how
And
to
the
perform
fourth
my
boss
ancestor
is just
Ryoichi Cooper's
easy, like,
ninja
it's
spire
even
jump.
easier than
A
Raleigh.
technique he developed while sneaking into the thickly fortified
And
castles
the
of
last
Japan.
boss is kind of
Finding
hard,
a
but
way
that's
off
because it
Raleigh's
uses,
boat
like,
got a little
different
tricky with the
mechanics.
untimely arrival of Inspector Fox, who, failing to find me, busted Raleigh and his crew.
Isle of Wrath to be
With the
renamed
storm machine
Isle
out of
of
commission,
Nice.
boats found their way back onto the ocean, and the mystery of the Welsh Triangle faded from memory. My gang and I loafed around England for a while, enjoying the pleasant weather,
Oh no, wait, it wasn't
and then
Coop
headed back
that
home,
voiced Raleigh,
excited
it was
for our next
Beck.
heist.
I remember that because he gave Raleigh a French
I took
accent.
the liberty of pinning your mission map up on the wall.
And
You can use it to
if you
warp
notice
directly to
anything
any
different,
levels you've
you
already
might notice
visited.
that we have a bunch of stuff now that is related to each of the levels that we went through. And that's actually a neat little thing. Each time you beat a level in the game, this part of the overhead view will get an item related to that level. And I think that's really neat, and it also falls in with the lore of the game, because they steal like little souvenirs from their missions. It's cute, and while the other games in the trilogy don't really allow for it, it is something that I wish they could somehow bring back, because it is a really, really nice little detail. Like, the keep out sign there is from the first level, the crab is from the submarine level. You got the, God, I don't remember what it's called in English. Steering wheel, basically, for the boat, there, from the, the boat graveyard.
We're all set to
And
go
the
to
books
Mesa
from the
City.
library. Anyway, episode 2.
It had been a while since I'd been back in the U.S. Next up, the notorious Mugshot. Ruthless muscle of the Fiendish Five. What he lacked in brains, he definitely made up for in brawn. Turns out he wasn't always that way. He grew up as the run of the litter. A neighborhood weakling. The only friends he could turn to were usually found on the big screen. It was there that he spotted his first gangster, and he knew instantly that that's what he wanted to be. He spent the rest of his youth working real hard to get there, fueled on his dreams of great power and respect. With enough perspiration, he realized that dream. He'd become a hard-boiled, street-brawling, tough-as-nails gangster, ensuring that he'd never be kicked on or pushed around again.
And then he decided that he was so strong that he didn't even need to do leg day anymore.
So he's holed up in Mesa City, huh? I've always wanted to go to that thriving American boom town.
So, like, if I remember correctly, Mesa City, in this game at least, is in Utah. And if I also remember correctly, doesn't Utah have a very big Mormon population? Like, isn't that the whole thing about that specific state? Just like, is Mugshot Mormon?
Hey, Sly, I thought you said Mesa City was going to be loud.
Oh
and
yeah, I
busy.
could definitely see
This looks more
Mugshot
like a
being
ghost
played by Jim
town.
Cummings.
Something's happened. Where is everyone?
I don't know, but it's starting to give me the creeps. What do you say we take off?
And miss all the fun? Besides, I want to try out that new move I got from Raleigh's section of the Thievius Raccoonus.
You mean the ninja spire jump?
Yeah, do me a favor and read me the instructions again.
To landeth safely upon diminutive points, leapeth lively and presseth the triggering device with a
I'm
round
pretty sure that's how
geometrical
Sly's
object
Japanese
emblazoned upon
ancestor
it.
wrote.
So jump and hit the circle button to land on narrow spots.
That's a rough translation.
Hey Snake, it's really nice to see you. You came just in time for the second episode. So, of course, with any game or really any media thing that has anthropomorphic animals alongside normal animals, the argument comes up like, well, if there are animals that walk and talk, then why are there, you know, animals that don't? And the argument that I usually have for that is that, you know, it's like evolution. It's like, you know, a person asking, well, if humans evolved from monkeys, why are there still monkeys? And usually that, you know, that argument falls kind of neatly in place. But the problem with this one is that, like, if you get hit by the four-legged dog that's tied up and stuff, it'll stand up on two legs and do a big bow. So, like, is that a normal dog? Or is it, like, sentient and just
The latest in
into that?
high-tech security. Electronic floor sensors. Step on them and you're a goner.
Nice touch.
They're safe to walk on while flashing, but it also means they're about to switch to a different sector.
Okay, now we're gonna do the difficult things. This one. Yeah. You know, I'm getting hit by a lot of enemies, but at least when it comes to bottles so far, I'm pretty gamer. Oh. Get stuck there a bit. See, now you can see it. See? Oh! Damn. I was standing just close enough for the nose to get hit. Well, like, I get what you're saying about the Tom and Jerry thing, but also the dog, like, is able to walk and talk in that particular cartoon. So it's more of like, you know, a thing where, you know, animals basically have the roles that they do in our society, but they are a bit smarter than, than they are in our world. But then again, you also have, but like, you don't have actual anthropomorphic animals in that world. Unlike, again, here in the Sly world, where it's populated by anthropomorphic animals. Usually I end up forgetting like 1 or 2 in this level, and it always gives me a feeling that I've probably forgotten 1 or 2, but we gotta do backtracking anyway, so we'll probably be able to find them there, if I missed any. And I can tell that I did. Yeah. Okay, that's gonna give this a little one over here. And this is why you always need to remember to watch your back when making your way forward and looking for bottles. Especially in levels where you can't backtrack as much. Okay, are there any bottles here? There are no bottles at the vault, no. Really missing bottles this far back? Guess I must have. Bottles this far back. Gonna have to go the difficult way down to backtrack. And this is why it's a difficult way. It's really hard to aim because you can't move the camera down properly. Ah, there we go. Part is that you are at least able to backtrack all the way in this level. In one of the future levels, you are not so lucky. It's probably gonna be the level that we take right after this one, in fact.
enter the vault code. A little bit of higher mathematics and voila! Dial in
Bentley,
314.
you don't need to sell yourself that high. We all know that Mugshot's an idiot.
Outstanding! You've uncovered Rob McCooper's
Also,
patented
Snake,
explosive
the
hack
reason why
technique.
Sly can't swim
Use the
is the same
triangle button
reason
to
why
toss your cap.
Sonic
Then
can't.
use the triangle button again to detonate it. Better back off to a safe distance first.
I rarely use the mine ability, but it does have its uses, which includes the next level. So you see that and you think, oh, that's a small thing, but like, no, it's surprisingly powerful. In certain areas, at least. And, the actual reason why Sonic can't swim is because the developers thought that hedgehogs couldn't swim. I don't know if that's the same reason why Sly can't, but, like, water's a very common, obstacle in platforming games. It's a good way to mark places where, you know, mark an actual route for the player. The same thing goes for bottomless pits.
Well, this mugshot certainly isn't shy. Okay, so we know he's here somewhere, but how are we supposed to find him? Mesa City is a big place.
Given that he's a bulldog, it seems only reasonable to assume that he'd choose to live in a giant fire hydrant.
That's
Also,
some
like,
sound
he would
logic,
probably
Sly.
live in the
Now you
penthouse
just need
with
to find
his
a way
name
to
on
break
it.
into the building's base.
Oh, I'm sure I'll think of something.
It's the boss. You know, I need a voice to admit that maybe driving everyone out of town, while necessary to set up shop, might have taken a hit out of their business. So, now I hope you mugs will be obliging to any visitors that come here to lose their money at my casino. But I got a reliable tip that a cop might be snooping around the operation. So from now on, greet any visitors you see with a hail of lead. Capiche?
I really like that voiceover where Mugshot's like, hey guys, I just realized that, you know, if you want to operate a casino, it probably wasn't so smart to drive everyone out of town, even though we kind of had to do that in order to set the casino up in the first place. But also there is a tip going around that there's a cop in these places, so I need you to try and kill everyone
Nice
that
job
gets
getting in,
close.
but look out for those guards. Mugshot's got those machine gun-toting dogs hunting like
shit.
a pack.
So, I thought I still had the mine ability linked to the square button, and I was about to go into explaining why the mine is pretty good here, because it allows you to get rid of the, dogs without getting caught. And then I fucked it up. Fucked it up. What? What? Oh, I might have accidentally clicked on the thing. Okay, so this is a level where when you reach a certain point, you're not able to backtrack to the beginning anymore, which means that you really need to make sure that you get all of the bottles. We got the jackpot. I can actually, like, get his slaves there and get a bunch of money. Let's see if I can land on a 9. Oh yeah. 9 is my lucky number, and it's also the 9th of January. That's my birthday. So you might be wondering why I am streaming on the 8th. Well, that's because I am planning on keeping streaming until it's midnight where I live, which will thus turn it into the 9th. I've got all the battles thus far. Okay, I can tell now that we got them all because the last one is right up here.
Press the circle to enter the vault code. Man, I'm getting swift with deciphering these codes.
Or maybe it's just because Mugshot is so stupid.
Okay, this page is from your hyperactive ancestor, B.F. Cooper. He discovered a way to speed up the clock. Perfect for those long stakeouts. Just hold down the triangle button to use it.
Yeah, so this is the one that I mentioned before. This is the one that, despite making everything fast, you should not use as a run button, because if you're doing the Thief Sprint trial thing, then it's also going to speed up the clock.
Giant roulette wheel is spinning
it's not
too
just like
fast
making
to jump
you faster,
counterclockwise
it's
around
making
it.
the
You'll have to
entire
jump in
thing
the other
faster.
direction to try to land on the green section.
Yeah, as we all know, old school stuff that use hyperactive is just code for ADHD. And remember how I said earlier that we would get a bit more development on Murray? Well, we're not gonna get super lot on Murray in this game, but he does get some levels to himself. And we are about to go into one of those. This is one of 2 racer levels in this game, and they're not very good.
Murray, what's going on
And for
down
some
there?
reason,
Well,
the
I drove to
second
this
one
hot
is
dog stand
way
for a quick
easier than the
snack,
first one
and the
here.
next thing you know, I'm getting challenged to a race by these gangster dogs.
Is there a key in it for the winner?
Yeah, 3 times around the track for a key.
It's all you, man. Drive the van with the left analog stick. And if you manage to pick up any nitro power-ups, you can get a boost by pressing the square button. Go get them.
I'm on it.
Pretty much the only strategy to this game is to get as many nitros as you can and use them on long stretches. But this whole thing is very much RNG related. Sometimes you're going to be able to do it at your first try, and other times it's going to take you forever to get it completed. There's not a lot of strategy to it. It's mostly just like depending on how good or how bad your opponents are driving. And like I said, that's pretty much random. That being said, at least the controls aren't super annoying. Like, they're responsive enough. And you're able to turn pretty okay. It's like, it doesn't move like a vehicle, it moves more like a character would. For instance, you don't really have a speed up button, you just hold the button forward in order to move forward. And yeah, there's a chance that we might not actually beat this one. Depends on whether we can manage to beat this guy. If we manage to do it, it's going to be right by a hair. We're not going to be able to do it for me to restart. Yeah, the others can drive into the nitros too, but they don't actually use them, so... Like, the only bad part is that it kind of robs you from being able to get a nitro yourself. And that's another part of how it's very much RNG. I'm not speaking a lot. I'm trying really hard to concentrate on this because I don't want to get stuck here for a long time and bore you guys with just me trying this over and over again. But like I said, luckily the second level of this is way easier and I don't know why. I don't know if it's just like an easier track or if the AI is noticeably different, but for some reason the second and only other one is not as annoying. Second try, not bad.
Murray.
Okay, we have one more level to finish out here before we've got to move inside, and it's another Murray level. This one is also kind of annoying, but not as annoying as the racer one. This one is very much like, you just need to know the actual
Murray
level.
is in position to make a run for this key.
Okay, so what do I do?
Provide some covering fire for him with that blasting station.
Sweet.
Use the left analog stick to
So
aim,
yeah, for some
and press the
reason they
square
decided
button
that
to
like
fire.
Murray
Do my
needed
best.
to be the one to do this one, even though Sly could probably do it himself. And because Murray isn't really much of a character
Let's
in
go,
this
Sly.
game, he's not actually able to defend himself yet. So you need to defeat all of the enemies for him, and if you shoot him, he's going to die and either like you lose a horseshoe or you lose a life and have to start over. And if you shoot one of the toxic waste barrels, they'll explode and hurt him too.
Hey!
Luckily, it's very easy to... You can tell very easily when an enemy's actually going to show up. It's very predictable in that regard once you've gotten the layout of it.
No!
Oh. See, you just need to be very precise.
I made it halfway!
Halfway there. Halfway there. That one's a little tricky.
Good
That
shooting.
one tries to cheat you.
Hey! No! Almost there! Hey! Nice! We did it!
Well, you know what they say, a good song never dies. Unlike Murray.
Would you look at that ugly mug?
I am, and I find it infinitely fascinating.
Huh?
My X-ray
I
detection
don't know.
devices
I don't need
reveal
to know what
that
kind
a
of guys you
secret
find
elevator
attractive,
to
Bentley.
Mugshot's penthouse
You're gonna get a
is
girlfriend in the
contained
third game,
within
don't
that
worry
giant
about it.
head.
So
And she's
how do
not
we get
going
in?
to be
Behind this
flanderized
locked
to the
wall,
point
there's
of
a lever
becoming an
that
entirely
summons the
different
elevator.
character in the fourth
But
game
you
that
need
doesn't
all 7
exist.
keys to open it up.
I'm on it.
Don't worry about it. Okay, that's 2 to Tango. That's the one I always save for last. So we're gonna tackle the 2 ones over here first. Like, my headcanons for the characters is definitely like, Sly straight. He's never shown any interest in any male characters or otherwise. Just female characters. And then we have Bentley, Ficon, and Murray's gay. Like, he has a bit of a crush on Sly in at least this game, and probably continues in the other ones too. He canonically likes cross-dressing. That is one of the only good things that came with the 4th game, that they actually confirmed that Murray likes cross-dressing. But even then, it's not like the cross-dressing was something that game invented. It's something that has existed since at least the 3rd game. Specifically, the tie-in comic for the 3rd game. And like, yeah, cross-dressing does not automatically equal gay, but it is like a characteristic that is mostly commonly used in gay men. Like, you guys know what I'm going with. And all of that is to say that I think that Murray deserves a boyfriend. Any bottles down here? No. I didn't think there was, but I wanted to make sure. Murray becomes such a good character from the 2nd game onward, and in the 3rd game, just chef's kiss. The character arc that he goes through in just the first 2 episodes of that game is amazing. I'm so glad I managed to get those on my first try. There was one time where I missed them and I had to kill myself in order to get to the next, in order to get another shot with them again. Man, if only there was a move that would allow us to walk on narrow points like this at normal speed, but I guess we can only dream.
Press the circle to enter the vault code. I could have broken this code in my sleep.
I just
The
saw the most
combination is
recent comment you
565.
left, Jex. That is certainly a take that I think a lot of people agree with you on. But I know that among fans, considering the trilogy, most people consider the 3rd game to be the least good one.
You found the blueprints
I've
for
already
Mugshot's
said that I
additions
consider
to
the
Mesa
first one
City.
to be that.
With these files, I'll
But
be able to
very
help you find all his
uncontroversially, I think
clues
that the
and
second
breakables.
game is
Just look through your
overall the
binoculars to
best
get the
game. It only
information.
has one flaw, which is that you can't replay missions. And, you know, that could have been a thing that the remake fixed, you know, allow you to replay missions, the one major flaw in the second game. I don't think anyone would have complained about that being added to it. But, no, we didn't get that. Straight to the top. level is basically like complete open world. You can go most anywhere from the beginning, and there's not much.
I know they look like you can't climb on them, but with your thieving
like there's
skills,
a bit,
I bet you
but
can
it's
pull
very
it off.
much like mostly open rather than linear progression. Which is fine, but when there is also a bunch of bottles that you need to collect, it does become a little like, oh, should I go here now, or, you know, what's the most optimal route to take? But on the bright spot, it does make backtracking a lot easier if you accidentally forget something. And I also do like how we can get to climb the giant neon sign that we saw earlier that was pointed out to us. It's pretty neat. First time I played this game, I was so confused for a while because I could not find a bunch of bottles. I was missing a whole bunch of bottles and I could not find them, and eventually I had to like use the whole binocular you know, blueprints one to find it, and it kept saying that like, no, it's here, and I was like, where the fuck are they? And then I realized yeah. Although, to be fair to the developer, they do make the hook, like, bright yellow to make it easier for the player to spot and come to the conclusion that, like, oh, you need to use your hook move on that one. But it would have been a lot easier if they did, like, the second and third game ended up doing by having all of the circle command moves sparkle blue instead of just the wall grab one. Also, hi Beck, Dennis, if you would come in. Nice to have you here. Is Bean with you? Okay, I'm gonna go down here just to make sure that I got everything. And I'm glad I did because I almost missed this. See, that's a cheaty little one. Okay, well, I hope Bean has a good time at work. And I'm glad that you were able to join us.
I got a voice message for the 2-bit thief who's making off with all my treasure keys. You're dead, Pally. If I get my hands on you, I'm gonna fit you with your own pair of cement bunny slippers. You hear me?
Cement bunny slippers. I like that. You guys know what the ironic part is? There is probably a timeline where Sly and Mugshot could have been buddies.
Press the circle to enter the vault code. You need an IQ of at least 140 to figure this one out. Dial
Because,
in
like,
468.
The only reason why all of the guards are aggressive to you when you enter is because the police has been seen nearby, so they're really paranoid and high-strung. Otherwise, Sly would have been able to get into the city no problem. And when we talked to Mugshot earlier, we find out that he's not even interested in the devious Raccoons. He doesn't like it. And the only reason why he doesn't want to just give it to Sly is because Sly has been running around stealing from him and beating up his guards. So, yeah, once again, everything that goes wrong in the world can be attributed to the police. I was here. By the way, Snake and Beck, me and Jex were also talking about some fan casting of, you know, more famous voice actors for what characters in the Sly games. We agreed that Tim Curry for Raleigh, and Jim Cummings for Mugshot, and we also talked about William Dafoe for Dimitri, although Dimitri doesn't appear until the second game.
Are filthy. Well, they are the only way to get to the key, since my locator tells me it's in a jewel case somewhere near Mugshot's penthouse.
I remember the first time I played this level, I was like, ooh, To the Tango, that sounds like a romantic one. Does Mugshot maybe have like a female subordinate that Sly's gonna interact with, and then like,
well,
even
look who
better.
Just walked into my crosshairs, Sly Cooper.
About time you showed up, Miss Fox. Was getting worried about you. I thought you took a wrong turn somewhere back in Paris.
The only one making wrong turns is you, Sly. I'd suggest you surrender before I paralyze you with my good friend, the shock pistol.
Now see, a girl whose best friend's a firearm's got issues. A little dinner, a little dancing. I think I can help you out.
Sounds romantic. As long as you don't mind dining in jail.
Nah, I hear the service is lousy.
Once I catch you, you'll know for yourself.
I first time played these games when I was like a preteen, and I found just what I can only describe as antagonistic flirting just so endearing. I was like,
Good thing I know Navajo code talk. Try 532. Aha! It's Sir Andrew Cooper's thief replica technique. He used to make fake stand-ups of himself, to confuse guards into attacking the wrong thing. Use the triangle button to put together a fake Sly Cooper.
Shadow Clone Nujitsu. So yeah, if you put one of those up, then the guard is going to attack that instead of you, and then the guard's gonna do like its showboating animation, which allows you to get a hit in on him. It doesn't work on Carmelita though, she's too smart. No, 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 no.
I'm gonna hunt you down, Cooper. You can't run forever.
And we now have all the speech, and it's time to fight Mugshot, who is one of the harder bosses in this game, meaning that he actually gives you a challenge. But it's specifically the second stage of this boss fight that's difficult.
What? My boys have been yapping about some big mysterious dude running around cracking skulls and this is it? You're the monkey wrench in my operation? Some scrawny rat with a stick? Hey, wait a second. I seen that stick before.
Maybe when my father knocked your block off with it.
Your father? Wow! You're a Cooper? You know, that Thingus Rackamagookus had a lot of nice pictures, but way too many big words.
So you don't mind just handing it over?
What? What, are you kidding? You break into my place, steal my stuff, trash the joint. I feel transgressed and violated. Let's rock.
See, it's like I said. If the police hadn't showed up, Sly would have been forced to break in and destroy everything, and Mugshot might have actually just, like, given him it. So yeah, this is basically how it progresses. You need to turn all the mirrors and avoid his guns.
My beautiful gun is destroyed. Good thing I got a spare upstairs.
See, first one, pretty easy. Second one, however, it's a little annoying with all of the holes. Like I said, he skipped leg day. This one is pretty easy if you've mastered the Ninja Spire jump by this point.
this impossible? A little pipsqueak like you, beating a big, strong bruiser like me? It ain't right! You want all of that stupid picture book? You're gonna have to go down to Haiti and cross paths with Miss Ruby. And then believe you me, you don't want to be you.
The mugshot section of the Thievius Raccoonus contained an entry from my gunslinging ancestor, Tennessee Kid Cooper. His specialty was the rail walk and rail slide, moves perfected through a lifetime of theft in the Old West. Getting out of town proved to be a little more challenging than getting in. Having just missed us, Inspector Fox went for the next best thing and dragged that canine steroid case off to jail. That was the end of Mugshot's gambling empire, and Mesa City's citizens soon returned home. While me and the boys, well, we enjoyed the rest of our stay in America, and then returned to Paris, ready for our next mission.
Oh yeah.
I figured out a way to get us to Haiti.
The third member of the Fiendish Five was the infamous voodoo priestess, Ms. Ruby. Born into a family of mystics, other children found her scary. Teaching herself to summon the undead provided what few friends she had. A career in crime allowed an adult Ms. Ruby to punish the world for fearing her as a child. Chief mystic for the Fiendish Five, her powers allowed them to break both the laws of man and nature at the same time. Yet despite the whirlwind success of her youth, she managed to slip into obscurity. Last known sightings claim she headed out of civilization and deep into the Haitian jungle.
And once again, the gang managed to drive to an island. Mosquitoes are really annoying to deal with, just like real-life mosquitoes.
Sorry, Sly, but this is one mission you will have to accomplish without me.
You don't believe in ghosts, do you?
Sure I do. My scanners have picked up verifiable paranormal activity. But that's not the problem. This swamp is oozing with disgusting mold and bacteria.
Suck it up, Bentley. We got work to do.
All right,
You're
then.
gonna get
Don't
sick.
forget to use the new move you learned from Mugshot section of the Thievius Raccoonus.
You mean the raccoon rail walk?
The roots and vines around here are perfect for that. All you gotta do is,
Jump and hit the circle button.
especially where you see the bark has been worn away, and where it's super slick from icky slime and moss, you'll rail slide like a skater grinding pipe.
I'm liking it.
So even in the non-remake version, this level does have the most annoying level in the entire game. It's usually the one that's that I play at the very end, so you get to see it there, but yeah. Actually, now might be a good time to talk to you guys about one way that that the trilogy also is generally better than the fourth game. So, in the first and second game, as well as the fourth, you're going up against an organization, a group of criminals. In the third game, meanwhile, you just go against a bunch of randos, because that game is not about taking down an organization, but about recruiting a team. And the first and second game does this really, really well in their own unique way. specifically the second game does it really, really well in a way that just, like, is Chef Kiss perfection. And the fourth game really does it. So, like, here in the first game, you're going up against the Fiendish Five, this organization of criminals. And as you get introduced to each of the members, you learn what area of expertise they have. So you have Raleigh, who was their mechanic, you had Mugshot, who was like their enforcer, and Miss Ruby, who was their supernatural specialist, allowing them to basically get a supernatural advantage.
Pedestal in the guard compound. There's a bad mojo force field protecting it.
And then later on, you also meet their leader and, you know, brains of the operation and the demolitions expert. So, like, each member has, like, a specific niche that they film that makes sense, that makes you think, oh yeah, I can see why this person, what role this person plays on the team. That makes perfect sense. And then you have, like, the second game where you're going against the Claw Gang, and all of the members there, you know, it seems kind of random. Like, you have Dimitri, who is an art forger and owner of a nightclub. You have Rashan, who is, like, a guy who sells an illegal spice, so he's basically, you know, a PG-13 drug dealer.
You've done it! The mojo force field is down, and you can steal the key!
And then you have, like, another person who is basically, like, you know, a contact who also works for the police. So it's like, okay, yeah, you know, a secret person on the inside, that could kind of work. And then you have Jean Besson, who basically is just a guy who has his own one-man crusade against nature. And then you have Arpeggio, who is the brain/leader of the operation, and you wonder, like, how did these specific people get together and start working together? And then when you reach the last episode of the game, and Arpeggio explains his whole plan, you realize that, oh, it wasn't just random. Every single person on Arpeggio's team had a specific niche and role that needed to be filled in order for Arpeggio's plan to succeed. And you realize that all of the pieces are in place, and you might not be able to stop him. So there's, like, this thing where you don't really think a lot about it, but when you do think about it, it's kind of weird, and you wonder, like, huh, that's weird, why would they do that? And then, like, when all the pieces fall into place, you just have this realization of, oh shit, the worst thing is about to happen, and it was right there staring me in the face all along, and I could have put it together if I had been smart enough to put the pieces together. And then you have the fourth game, which, again, have these mixed-match characters where it's like, you don't really get how each of them have a role to fill in the operation or the, you know, the main villain's master plan. And there's never that moment of realization, that moment where it strikes you like, oh, that's why each of them were recruited. Like, it really just seems like it was completely random, and it doesn't help that a lot of the villains in the fourth game aren't that interesting. Like, they're either kind of boring, or they seem like a pale imitation of a previous villain. Like, the third boss, the Grizz, is basically a copy of Dimitri. And it sucks because they could have managed to do what the second game did and have this whole thing where there is a secret plan going on in the background and you have a chance to figuring out if you put the pieces together, but they just didn't. And it's really one of those things where you're wondering, do the people who made this game actually understand the more subtle nuances of what makes the Sly game so good? Wait, did I miss one up here? Okay, I didn't. Okay, Snake, you're about to get some representation very soon. And it's going to be very difficult to get all the bottles
These walls
here.
are making me claustrophobic. Whoa! Did you see those reeds move? There's something huge under there. You better get going.
A little bit of foreshadowing to what's to come. Good thing we got the water safety technique. Now we don't lose a horseshoe. Bad news about the water safety technique though. If we miss a bottle here, we're going to want to die. Well, we didn't miss a bottle, so we're Gucci. Now we just need to try and outrun the snake. Woo! Yeah. I'm pretty impressed with myself there.
I had to overcome some personal demons to get the answer to this one. Try 4, 4, 4.
And funny little detail, you might have thought that, like, if he's talking about personal demons, well, why isn't it 666? Well, any weeaboo probably already knows this, but the letter 4 is considered to be unlucky in most Asian countries because the letter 4 also sounds close to the word for death in those countries. In Japanese, I know that it's shi. So the letter 4 is considered unlucky in many East Asian countries, and I think also some Southeast Asian ones. Oh yeah, Bentley's a weeb. Like, he canonically, at least in this game, has a pen pal in Japan. Because once you beat the game, you get like an anime-style version of the intro complete with Japanese speech that he says that he got from his friend in Japan. And if you 100% complete the game, you also get an anime-style version of the final cutscene. So that's pretty neat. The idea that Bentley's personal demons is not him being superstitious, but him being embarrassed about his weep past is pretty in canon, main character.
My paranormal scanners show this place is really haunted.
So we had a debate about whether those
Very
ghosts were
interesting.
cats or rats.
When you smash that gravestone, the ghosts stop
I still
coming.
personally see them
It
as
must be
cats
some
because I
kind of
think
ghost
that their ears
terror.
and tails look more
Maybe if you smashed
cattish.
them all, you'd be safe.
But I can also see people who say that they're rats because of the giant yellow buck teeth. But I will also point out that they don't look a lot like the rat guards in this game. They have much different tail and build and also like snout. Like they have a pretty long snout, whereas the ghosts have pretty flat snouts that again looks more to me like a cat. Okay, let me just backtrack a little bit to see if I missed anything. No, it looks good. I usually also don't miss any bottles on this one, but I just wanted to be sure because I'm playing in front of an audience. Okay, looks good. Oh, damn it. And that's what happens when I pay too much attention to the chat instead of the actual gameplay. I was doing so well, and then I wanted to see what was written, and I was like, no, I can handle this. I've done this 1,000 times. This is no problem. And then I just immediately fuck up. How embarrassing. Man, you gotta give Miss Ruby one thing. She really knows how to decorate. She is styling. I bet she got all of these bones from the Tumblr witch that sold bones. Like, no wonder Bentley's worried. There are turtle skeletons hanging everywhere. I don't even know who would voice Clockwork in our fan cast. Like, the actual voice for Clockwork in this game is so perfect, and I know a lot of it is owed to the effect that's added to his voice, but like, it's so fucking good. It's perfect, and it's such a shame that we only get to hear it in this game. Damn it. Doesn't even like my blood. Okay, that wasn't fair, I think. Oh yeah, we still haven't decided who's gonna play Clockwork in our actual dub. If we're going to tackle the 4th and 5th episode together, like I suggested, then... I'm sorry about that. Then Panda King and Clockwork are probably gonna be voiced by the same person. Okay, got a horseshoe now. Extra horseshoe.
Press the circle to enter the vault code.
Thanks, Coop, and thanks for joining
Okay,
us.
okay, this is kind of a guess, but try 128.
It's technically first my birthday in 2 hours and
These are the
20
blueprints
minutes.
to Miss Ruby's production facility. I'll pipe this information
But
into your
I still
binocular.
appreciate the
Use it to
wishes.
find
Plus, you couldn't
breakables
have
and
known that
clues
since I literally
nearby.
called this a birthday stream. There's so much stuff that's been happening for my birthday this year. I had my birthday party last Friday with my mom's sister, her fiance, and my mom's new boyfriend. I'm doing this stream. We're gonna be watching Twisted on the server later. Tomorrow I'm gonna eat lunch with my dad to celebrate my birthday. And, what was the last one? Oh, wait, 2 last ones, actually, because, we both have anime night tomorrow, and we have Charlie streaming the Street Fighter movie. It's just so
the only
much
way to
fun
open
to
up that
celebrate
voodoo
my
gate is
birthday,
by lighting
even
all
though a lot of them are
25
just
tiki torches
coincidental
with
and
the
not
flamethrower
actually
on
have
your
anything
swamp
to do with my
skiff.
birthday.
Use the left analog stick to steer and press the X button to fire the flamethrower. Oh, and one more thing. You need fuel for the flamethrower, and the only source of oil are those piranha you see swimming around. Run them down with a boat. One fish fuels 1 shot. Hurry! You only have 2 minutes to get all the torches lit.
Most cartoony mediums, piranha fish are like, no, they're dangerous, you need to stay away from them. This is like, murder them to create fire. It's important that you try to keep yourself to some kind of, line work with this, because otherwise you're going to get confused about which one you missed, and then you're going to be like, oh, which one did I miss? It's spend a bunch of time worrying about that, which is time you do not have, because the time limits on these things are incredibly precise. You do not get a lot of time for dilly-dallying. Bentley is so delightfully low-key psychotic. Which is, again, one of the things that the fourth game kind of got wrong and that I'm a little bit disappointed by, because in the original trilogy, when it comes to Carmelita, Bentley's very much like, I do not care about Carmelita, she can die for all I cares. Actually, I would prefer if she died, because that would make our job easier. And then, like, in the fourth game, Carmelita joins the team for a bit, like, more officially than when she usually does. And there's, like, no awkward moment where there's, like, this thing of, oh yeah, I kind of wished death upon you on several occasions. And I want that so much. I want that awkward little thing of, like, these two people who really hate each other being forced to work together and then finding common ground, which in their case would be how annoying Sly can be, especially with his insistence on doing dangerous and stupid things.
Looks like this is some kind of giant voodoo egg beater to stir up that unsanitary mess.
If I could unlock the cauldron's lid,
oh, also,
I might be able to thrash
small
their
detail.
production and build up
See how
enough
the head
steam
moves
pressure
here?
to get launched
You
up
can
to
move the
Ruby's
heads
Skull Temple.
by using
Okay,
the analog
sounds like we've got a
sticks.
plan. To get around that thing, try moving in the shadows made by the masks, so that the guards won't see you.
Descend into danger. It's a fun little detail that most people, again, are not gonna notice. And it does not return in any of the other games.
Oh my god, a green waterfall overflowing with bones and body parts. I'm telling you, the health department's going to come down big time on this dump.
Again, Bentley's worry is not like specifically the fact of like how many people have died or like all of the grave robbing or like the morally bad parts of this. His thing is like, oh, that's gross. Like when it comes to morality, Sly's pretty like much around the chaotic, neutral, chaotic good sort of thing. His morality is pretty decent, but he's also like a thief. And then we have Murray, who like has a very, very precious heart, but he also really enjoys violence in the other games. So he kind of also falls like into the chaotic good thing, but leans probably a little bit more towards lawful than Sly, or at least a little bit more towards good than Sly. And then we have Bentley, who is okay with murder. backtrack quite a bit. And yeah, here in the waterfall you can really like notice all of the bones and chopped up hands. Amazing. And that's like another thing that the 4th game got kind of wrong. It does not have a scary level. Each of the Sly games in the trilogy has like one episode or maybe even 2 that is very much like has a horror touch to it.
I'm in your mind, Raccoon.
I'm in your mind.
You better run for it, or me and my voodoo children are gonna sign you up for an eternity of zombie servitude.
And now we have to backtrack again. Yeah. So, like, yeah, in this game the scary level is here in the 3rd episode. In the 2nd game, the 4th and 5th episode are the scary ones. And in the 3rd game, it's the 4th episode. And at first it doesn't seem to be, but then you get, like, vampires everywhere. So, yeah. I think that qualifies as plenty scary. Aw, come on.
Look at all the security. This must be the source of all the disgusting green soup.
Destroying the candles somehow made a giant vine thing appear.
These codes are nothing before my righteous analytical ability. The combination has to be 571.
I wonder if Bentley's getting smarter or the codes are getting easier.
Mind-bending. It's Matthew Delacoupe's perpetual slow motion technique. With this move, you can slow down time whenever you want, not just while jumping. Hold down the triangle button to use it.
Nice. Two more levels before we go against the worst boss, which used to be the best.
That vehicle seems to be outfitted with some sort of high-energy cannon. Use the left analog stick to move, and aim the right analog stick in the direction you want to shoot. Remember, you can always shoot in one direction while moving in another.
So I don't remember where I've heard it, so I can't vouch for its authenticity, but I've heard that originally the third episode, so this one, was going to be the fourth one, with the fourth one being third, and for some reason they decided to switch them over. And like, on one hand, I do think that it flows better this way, but on the other hand, the third episode here is definitely harder than the fourth one. Level's got a lot of points, and that's a good thing because we are going to be needing a lot of lives for the boss. It would not surprise me if I'm unfortunate enough to get an actual game over on the boss, and it's not because it's actually difficult, it's because, again, this remake is really, really bad. But I'll get into it in a bit, so I can better demonstrate exactly what I mean.
According to my paranormal scanner, that flowing soup is really highly charged ectoplasm. It's just got to be the source of power for those headstone generators.
Well, you know, Bentley, that doesn't really make much of a difference. Like, we already knew the suit was powerful, and it was already full of body parts, so I don't think knowing that it's ectoplasm carries that much of a difference. It's kind of like you going, that green soup is actually a very weird turquoise. Now it's time for the worst level in the game, which is like both for this one and the original. This one is really, really annoying. So remember how the Piranha level had kind of a tight time limit?
With all the hay
Imagine if that
feathers in
time
here,
limit was
just
like
looking at
even
this place has
worse,
got me
but you could
breaking out
also
in
get
hives.
hurt during it,
But
which
we've got
would
no choice.
severely take
That
down on your
ghost over there
time.
contacted me on Spectre Wave Radio, and we've cut a deal. He's promised us a key if you can whack 50 chickens. I guess he needs them to make a big pot of gumbo, but he's scared of the bob-toting roosters. Be careful, or they'll blow you to bits. Think you can do it?
I don't really have much of a choice, Bentley. because it's really, really hard. What? Well, I need to restart now. I don't know what happened there. I must have accidentally pressed something. Down to the wire. No, I didn't! I don't know what happened there again, but it seems like I managed to do it somehow. I'll take it. I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. Okay. If we manage to get through this in somewhat decent time, then we should have no other issues with this game going forward. Like, maybe there's gonna be some frustrating moments in the last episode, but this is the make or break point.
I could feel that Cooper vibe a-coming. Most distastefully bad juju.
Yeah, well, you give me the creeps too, lady. Cooking up an army of ghosts isn't a very neighborly pastime.
Oh, Sly. I see your mouth a-moving, but all I hear is blah, blah, blah.
I do wonder about
Well,
that Cooper vibe. She
if
says it's
jaws
bad
need to
juju,
flap,
so I guess it's pretty
let them
stank.
flap. See you in the next world, Sly Cooper.
So, in the original thing, right now, a different song would be playing. One that had a very clear beat. That these stalactites would be moving in rhythm to. So, you know, that's a little annoying. You know, makes it worse, but it's okay. It doesn't, you know, make it completely unplayable or anything. And then we move
Come
to
back
this
here.
part.
You can't run away forever.
Quite true. Quite true. Why don't I have my servant Chumley escort you over
See, Miss
here?
Ruby's boss
What's the catch?
is
Oh,
rhythm-based.
Not much. Just a little game I like to play with all my annoying
And the
guests.
remake
I want to see
fucked
how well
up
you pay
the song
attention.
that's
What do you
supposed to
mean?
play.
Well,
Meaning that
I'll
it's
unleash
not
my
in
mighty
rhythm.
mojo magic upon you.
Meaning that you're
If you
playing with a
repeat what I
huge
do,
disadvantage.
you'll dodge it just fine.
I am able
If
to
not,
beat this boss
you'll get
literally with
slapped.
my eyes closed
A little
in
voodoo
the
Simon Says, huh?
original PlayStation
Sounds
2
easy
version. And
enough.
that's not a diss against the boss. That's a good thing. You should be able to play a rhythm-based boss with eyes closed. But this... You don't know how much I'm concentrating to... See... So, yeah, we're probably gonna be here for at least 30 minutes to beat this thing. Oh, well, thanks for the watch anyway. You're probably sucked because, like, you liked the previous video I made or stream I made and was like, oh hey, I want to see more of that, and then I never made more of that. I just wonder, how can you fuck up a rhythm-based boss so bad that was already perfect? What happened during the remastering of this game that made them fuck this up so much? And why did they not catch and fix it? Well, it's nice for you to join us. Okay, last one. This is also gonna be really, really hard. So close. At least now we have a horseshoe. do like the backflipping chickens, though. Can do this. Yes!
You certainly got some rhythm, Raccoon. But it won't help you none if you're fixing to go after the Panda King. He's tough, with a capital T.
He's actually pretty easy.
You go poking around his stronghold in China, you're likely to get poked back.
Yeah, well, if he's anything like the rest of you, I think I'll manage. Ms. Ruby's section of the Thievius Raccoonus held notes for my pioneering ancestor, Slighton Common. His invisibility technique allowed him to steal from corrupt pharaohs and greedy noblemen. Right on schedule,
and
Inspector
funny thing, you could
Fox's
see that he
arrival
was
cued
carrying
my exit.
food,
The
meaning that
production
it
of
really
zombies,
was
made
like
illegal
very
under
much a
World Peace
Robin Hood
Accord of
scenario.
71, earned Ms. Ruby a life sentence behind bars. While the gang and I enjoyed a few weeks in the tropical sunshine, working on our tans in preparation for our next caper.
Travel plans to China have all been worked out.
At least now we're back to more realistic travel route by van.
The
You know,
road trip gave me
driving
the
from
time I needed
Paris
study
to
up on
the mountains in China, you know, difficult but not impossible. Driving from Paris to
Born penniless,
Haiti, not
he was
so
fascinated
much.
by the fireworks rich noblemen set off every New Year's. He spent a decade learning the art. But when he tried to offer his fireworks to the noblemen, they couldn't see past his shabby clothes and chased him away. Humiliated, the Panda King took revenge on those who shunned him by using the very tools of his art for crime. The Fiendish Five recruited him as their demolitions expert, and from then on, his explosive touch became feared worldwide. He's rumored to be perfecting some new firework technique high in the unstable Kunlun Mountains of western China.
Damn, it really is like gets rejected once, time to commit a murder. Anyway, we have officially reached territory that we haven't dubbed yet. So feel free to use this stream as inspiration for when we eventually do those.
Would you look at that? A fireworks show! Oh my gosh, that's awful!
Uncle
That
Albert,
poor
no!
village just got buried in freezing snow!
The rocket came from that giant statue, and you can bet the Panda King lit the fuse. I've got to find my way up there and fast before that lunatic squashes another town.
It is kind of weird that Panda King's a panda, but all of his henchmen are monkeys. Because, like, with Mudshot, you know, he's a dog, his henchmen are dogs, that makes sense. And, Raleigh and Miss Ruby have a bit more varied, henchmen. But Panda King specifically only having monkeys is a little, like, was Panda King originally going to be a monkey instead of a panda? I guess it's just like you could pick a bunch of other animals for China-inspired level. I mean, there's the lunar zodiacs you could pick from.